Walang problemado ka. Ace. Oh my god. Hi Zen. I changed my clothes. This is better. Hey. First like for you there. Wow, thank you. Look, this is what I bought. Remember when I went to gym? I went to gym and then the gym was closed. Looks good. Looks good. I remember Rose. Yeah. You remember the other one? The pink one? I don't like it. It's very tight with my breast. I remember. But this one is good. Indeed, looking good. He. No lol. Zayn, no lol. Looks good. Thank you, Ted. I could tell it was tight. Yeah, that one pink, right? It was tight. Even this one, but not too much. Hoy, double tap the screen, guys. But it shows my belly oing. My tattoo is showing. Double tap the screen. Yes, double tap the screen did. People. Thank you, Dave. PayPal to send gifts donation. Wow, the music is so nice. My baby. Oh, baby. Would you like some DD or... Huh? What? Nag-jacket na sad lagi ka. Hi, Janilyn. Yeah. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hoy, Graham, you didn't have work today, Graham.
And 11,000 years ago. The suggestion of archaeology was that human beings hunted down all the megafauna and butchered them. I don't know of any hunter-gatherer group that would willingly exterminate its food supply. So the notion that humans were responsible for the extinction of the megafauna has always seemed to be quite bizarre.
Mas sexy ka. Janilyn is more sexy, right?
Prove
Not
that
to
humans
me.
and those animals overlapped for at least 10,000 years before their extinction. I think a much better explanation
Hoy!
of the extinction of
Yay!
the ice
Buang!
is the global cataclysm that
You
took
buang,
place
Janilyn.
around about 12,800, 12,900 years ago.
Janilyn, sub to Jenny in the jungle.
A sudden plunge in global temperatures.
Thank you, Big Lon.
Sea levels.
Thank you, Zane.
Very rapidly became an extremely difficult place to live. It's a time we call the ancient apocalypse. North America was hardest hit, which could explain both the extinction of its megafauna and also the big gaps in human history here. We are going to have to completely change the story of the people of the Americas in the light of this new evidence.
Good morning, everyone.
Archaeologists are opening their eyes and their minds to the possibility of a much older human presence.
We're just touching the tip of the surface of what's to be learned. I think throughout the Southwest, as people look, they're going to find sites that are just as old as White Sands.
So it's like you've opened a door on the past which nobody stepped through before. Paradigm shifts don't happen instantly. It's the accumulation of evidence that finally discredits an old paradigm and allows eyes to open to new possibilities. That's what we're witnessing in the Americas now. What's been discovered here at White Sands is part of a much bigger story, a global story, that I've been investigating for more than 30 years. If we want to clear the fog of amnesia that surrounds our remote past, we need to look much deeper and much further back than we've ever done before. Right here in the Americas, where the timeline of prehistory keeps on receding with every new discovery.
And so it begins.
New discoveries that are not just being followed by archaeologists. So,
thank you, Dave.
Graham, let's talk about the
Wow,
past.
Keanu Reeves.
Why does the past matter to you?
Well, you know, I remember as a young child just being inquisitive, and as I have grown up, it comes to the question of a fundamental sense of who are we?
Yeah, and what's
He's
driven
handsome.
me on this quest of my own for more than 30 years is to try to get back to some sort of source.
Source of what?
The source of who we are.
And the timeline.
Timeline's all wrong. That's
I'm
why
watching
those footprints in White Sands were
Ancient of a. I'm watching Ancient Apocalypse. Ancient Apocalypse.
that's why
Hi,
those
Xamad.
footprints in White Sands were so significant to me. And my feeling is that 23,000 years is just the beginning. We're going to go back much further than that.
Yeah, I have that feeling too.
And we are just at the edge of rediscovering so much of our lost past. And in a way, America is the place where that story is unfolding.
Well, that's an exciting idea. I think you're on a quest, Graham, to teach and to bring understanding, perhaps.
Well, the issue about the Americas is that there is so much of our past that we've forgotten. And my role, such as it is, has been to try to recover some of that lost memory.
When I think of the past like that, it sounds exciting.
Absolutely. For me, the past is all about mystery. It's not about what we do know, it's about what we don't know. The huge areas that have not been explored or investigated, the possibilities that haven't been explored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to start looking specifically for evidence in places where we might not have looked before. During the Ice Age, the northern part of North America was a frozen wasteland. The places to look are down near the tropics, down near the equator, places that were warm, comfortable, nurturing, hospitable. Perhaps even a vast region that was long believed to be an archaeological wasteland, but where astounding secrets of the human past are now beginning to be revealed.
The ramifications are infinite. Until recently, we only 5,500 years old. It is known as we are much older. Hello, my beautiful Rez. Hi, Justin. Good evening. So we are like 5,500 years old. The verification are infinite. Until recently, we were only 5,500 years old. It is now knows we are much older. We have structures 12,000 years old, 15,000, and as he said 20. Yeah. So which is true. Thank you, Rose. You're welcome, beautiful Justin. Thank you for visiting.
This is the Amazon.
Not the five, the Amazon.
You're looking at more than 6 million square kilometers of land that are still under dense canopy rainforest.
The 5 years old cannot be true.
That immense land area is a huge mystery at the heart of the human story. And little by little, we're beginning to realize how enormous that mystery really is. For decades, the dominant view of archaeologists was that the Amazon's only historical
Hello,
inhabitants
Dave.
were small,
Free your
semi-nomadic
mind.
tribes of hunter-foragers, much like those still surviving in the rainforest today.
Whoa.
But I believe the dominant view is wrong. I'm headed to the far west of Brazil and the state of Acre. Like most of the Amazon basin, it had long been blanketed by sprawling rainforest, until vast expanses began to be burnt down to make way for cattle ranches.
Oh no.
Coming to the Amazon rainforest is both an exhilarating and depressing experience. The amount of land that's been cleared of trees is an unfolding modern-day disaster with no easy solution. But as new swathes of land have been cleared, it's led to something that no one expected. I'm here to meet Dr. Alceu Ranzi, a paleogeographer who began his career studying the Amazon's Ice Age animals. He wants to show me evidence of a mystery that remains unsolved today. Whoa! Roller coaster. From up here, the ongoing devastation is unmissable.
You can see how much of it has been cleared.
So much, so
Yes.
much. 20 years from now, all of the forest just disappears.
But this clearance has opened a little window on a great mystery.
In 1986, 1986, Dr. Ramsey was flying over this region when he caught a glimpse of something unexpected.
I was arriving in Rio Branco by jet, commercial jet.
Yes. Yeah.
Sit in the window seat.
Yeah.
And look in the environment like this.
Yes.
Like this. And then I see a big circle.
Oh yeah.
My God, what is? And the jet is so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, disappear.
He didn't yet realize that in those few seconds, Dr. Ramsey had spotted something that, if our old notions of the Amazon are true, simply shouldn't exist.
Wow.
Consider this, yes, we can see the devastated land, but the Amazon is the size of India. The size of India. Hello, Rose Flores. How are you? Like number 11. We have been tapped into 0.1% of it.
Giant geometrical shapes,
Hello,
as much
Ramon.
as
Thank you for
1,000 feet
live.
across, formed by trenches and massive piles of earth, now known as geoglyphs.
Fantastic design.
My God, that's the design. And so big.
And enormous.
So enormous. Enormous. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful thing. And what I'm seeing is a square surrounded by an oval.
Look, another one.
Yes. They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
What is that?
Another one here. Another one here.
Yeah, there's a circle.
Wow. Incredible.
The perfect geometry is only visible from hundreds of feet in the air. And yet somehow, this was all created by people with their feet stuck
Yeah,
firmly
what's
on the ground.
that? Have you
This,
seen this
to
one,
me,
bros?
raises a feeling of deep respect. How do they have the perspective to see how they would look from above?
It's a powerful experience. I've visited many temples and pyramids and sacred sites around the world, and this has a very special feeling. You know, very special.
My Bunta Gross. Hi,
I mean,
Aaron.
it touches
Good
my
morning.
heart.
Where are you?
I'm looking at something
Rose the Explorer.
majestic.
Oh no.
It's as though the curtain is being pulled back from the Mona Lisa. Suddenly, I'm seeing something that I didn't know was there, and it had an enormous emotional impact upon me. It was as though the ancients were speaking to me directly. Look what we could do.
No, I was watching
Don't
an Asian
underestimate
apocalypse.
us. We were scientists.
When you first told archaeologists about this phenomenon, what did they say?
The first one was a famous archaeologist.
Yes.
I show her
Yeah.
a picture. And she looked and say, where is it? In the Amazon. It's impossible.
I'm in Kondo
It's
and
impossible.
Dumaguete.
Look at the picture.
Wow.
Help me, please. I don't know what it is. Yes.
The evidence is undeniable and spread across an area the size of West Virginia.
Hello, Dan. Hola, Rose and chat.
At first, it was thought these mounds might be defensive ramparts. But there's no evidence of warfare here, and the ditches lie inside the mounds, so they're not moats. And there's no evidence that they were used as
No,
settlements.
because Jody, like Banana told, like, if the
It's
moderator
impossible to
doesn't
avoid
count the watch
speculation
hour.
when you look at the Amazon Gym.
So yeah, they said that moderator doesn't count watch hour, but yeah, bros told me all my viewers is moderator, but I still can count the watch hour. So I don't know. It's confusing. Yes, they do. So the moderator is, it doesn't count. The moderator. The moderator doesn't count. They do count. It counts. Oh, I can prove. Yeah, but Google says like moderator doesn't count. That's why I'm confusing now. But yeah, bros, all the account is all blue. What is your watch hour? My watch hour now. If you keep repeating the same thing, it still won't be true. Because they're asking me why I remove, why put back, I need to explain them. But if you repeat it again, maybe it will.
Yes, why? Because
Funny.
there are no written documents from their original creators that tell us why they made them. We don't know why they made them.
What's your thought about how many there are
Just tell
in the
them you
whole
had the
area?
dumb the dude.
Thousand.
Thousand.
Thousands. Thousand. Mike. Thousand.
It raises many questions. How
Hi,
old are these
14
geometrical
viewers. Double tap
earthworks?
your screen.
Are they older or younger than the Amazon rainforest that long concealed them?
If you repeat it's enough, a lie that's become believable.
What was the size of the workforce that created them in the first place? And what skills were required to direct the work successfully?
This is not new work. This is people who already knew what they were doing. They've done it many times before. I would love to know what was in their minds when they were making this.
Yeah.
Such a huge effort and energy.
The
Interesting.
geoglyph building project is a compelling mystery, one that scores of researchers are now grappling with. Back on the ground, we're meeting Professor Marty Parsonen, an archaeologist and anthropologist from the University of Helsinki. He's been searching for answers alongside Dr. Ramsey for 2 decades.
Clearly, we're looking at an enormous phenomenon here, not something small, and a phenomenon that shows knowledge of geometry and also a high level of organization must have been involved.
I think so, because many of these are so complicated
Very
that
complicated.
it is necessary to have pre-plan
Yes.
how to do it and how to organize it.
Yeah, there is a
After
sign,
examining
a hole.
hundreds of geoglyphs, Professor Parsonen has uncovered a key piece of evidence that points to the type of society that built these structures. Ancient raised roads connecting many of the geoglyphs.
This area is full of roads. Hunters and gatherers do not build roads.
Keep
They
in
don't
mind,
have any need for
these
that.
were
It needs
supposed to
already
be
society
hunter-gatherers,
with much more higher level of thinking
not
and
pyramid
also
builders.
relationships between each other, so that it is really complex
Yes.
society.
Yeah, and if I'm right, this was not expected before
No,
in the
no,
Amazon.
it was totally surprise for us.
To figure out more about who the builders were, Professor Parsonen's team has been excavating the areas around the geoglyphs, including this one known as Tequino.
Archaeologically, tell me what you do find inside the earthworks.
From Tequino, we found
I
40,000
believe
shards of
moderator.
ceramics.
I believe moderator chat per minute doesn't count. Can someone verify in YouTube studio? In live broadcast mode, it counts. Is the proof? Okay.
These shards were around 2,000 years old. The earthwork itself
was dated to around 2,500 years ago. But
Okay,
the
so
pottery was
up.
unexpectedly sophisticated.
Most of it is of high quality
Right.
and polychromy
Right.
ceramics.
So that polychrome is rather advanced.
Yeah,
form of
it's
ceramics.
normally polychromy ceramic is considered to be part of civilization.
The multicolored ceramics raise an unexpected parallel with another far-off culture known for their deep knowledge of geometry. The ancient Greeks.
Drink the smoke.
Generally, historians and archaeologists say that, the Greeks were amongst the first to create geometry, but clearly we have to reconsider that view.
I think that you are right, because this geoglyph culture is exactly the same time when the Greek culture had archaeological period, what has been called geometric Greek period.
Ancient Greek, ancient
The fact
Amazonian.
that two cultures so far apart were making geometric art and producing sophisticated pottery
It's
at around the
almost the
same
same.
time seems more than a coincidence. It's fascinating that we're seeing these parallel development of ideas between cultures that are completely unconnected.
Exactly.
I'm not suggesting the Greek and Amazonian cultures were in contact. But could both perhaps have shared a legacy of knowledge inherited
Same but
from
not
a vastly
connected.
older civilization? One that traveled the earth in the night of time, leaving traces of its wisdom wherever it went. Now, the way that archaeology explains this is to say, well, look, we all have the same human minds, and so we're all going to do the same things. And the fact that they did them at the same time in widely separated geographical locations is just explained by that shared neurology. I'm afraid that just doesn't work for me. It's obvious, even from looking at the design, that there must be a background to this. This isn't something that just appears out of nowhere suddenly one night. So how far back can you trace the prehistory of this area? And is there any evidence that these places were special before the geoglyphs were put there?
That's a very good question, because we excavated up to 1 meter, and after that the ceramic disappeared. But then I noticed that the charcoal continued. And we went down and down and down, and then we started to take radiocarbon samples, and finally we found that many of these sites have been established already 10,000 years ago.
My goodness. Wow. From the deep past.
From the deep past,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fascinating. So 10,000 years ago, not long after the end of the Ice Age, it looks like these same sites may already have held some great significance to the people who visited them. That adds more to the picture then. So in a sense, what we're looking at now
Yes,
is the
carbon
latest
dating
incarnation
10,000 years.
of a very long-term association with the land, a very long-term project in a
Yes.
way. We have evidence of a highly organized, sophisticated indigenous civilization, taking all the initiatives that we would expect of a high civilization. This research is truly groundbreaking for our growing understanding of human history. We have to reconsider our whole ideas of the ancient Amazon and our whole ideas of ancient civilizations. To me, this is one of the most exciting discoveries that has been made in the last 100 years. It's really, really something special. And the work is far from over. We are now aware of a phenomenon that we didn't know existed 20 years ago. The next question is, how many of them are there? How many of these earthworks actually exist?
Everything we think we know also change. Recently, they found human bones with dinosaur bones, like the man was riding on the dinosaur.
To date, more than 1,000 geoglyphs have been discovered in the Acre region alone.
What we do not know today, we will know tomorrow.
8 miles from the airfield, Professor Parsonen is hoping to add to the tally in an unexplored part of the forest near an exposed geoglyph called Fazenda Cipoal.
Our understanding stopped on the border of the forest. And now we want to know what's there.
Reciting
detect
things
what's
you've
beneath the
heard and
trees,
know
the
nothing
team is
about
depending on a
again.
technology that sees
I
through
dream my life you don't have
Lidar.
on that.
By using this
Derp.
system, we
Hi,
can
Derp.
clear the vegetation out and got the results from the bottom. And in that way, we can see the topography exactly.
With Lidar, you can see what's under the canopy
Yeah.
without destroying a
He's
single
looking
tree.
at you, bros.
You don't have to tear down the rainforest. You don't have to destroy anything.
Yay for us.
Joining Kate is
Hi,
Fabio
lady.
de
What
Novaes
are
Filho,
you
who will
watching?
be surveying the forest with his
Ancient
drone-based
Apocalypse.
Lidar system.
Going to fly
Ancient
at 80 meters.
of Apocalypse.
And, maybe we can have about 100 to 200 points per square meters.
That's excellent.
So topography will be very precise.
Oh, he drones. Yeah, he is the only man I know that wants you fill his throat with my man meat.
The device fires laser beams down between the leaves, detecting changes in elevation. The data is then used to create a 3D map of the landscape, revealing any anomalies.
It's really
These
good if
drones
you have a
change
drone
everything in
because
archaeology.
you can see from above.
While the team looks to see what might be hidden beneath the canopy, I'm investigating a different question. Why were the geoglyphs built in the first place?
Archaeological excavations offer no clue as to why they were created. But the indigenous people in this area hold knowledge and memories that help to shed light on the significance and meaning of these remarkable earthworks.
I've come to the geoglyph known as Jacosa to meet one of its caretakers.
Aaron.
Antonio Aparina is from the Aparina people and works within FUNAI, Brazil's national indigenous agency.
Os Apurinãs são povo que tem as suas origens muito ligado à
Bros,
natureza.
Ego knows
à
no
terra.
bounds. Come
What
play
is
with
the
us in
opinion
the
of
white
the
collar
Apurina
world
about
sometimes.
these constructions? What
How's
is your
your
feeling
flight?
about them? Eu estou pisando num local em que eu considero do maior respeito para nós, são local sagrado. Não foi feito para guerra, não foi feito para defesa, foi feito para externar aí
It was made to express
alguma coisa
something
voltada à questão
cultural.
cultural.
I have big
If the
ego,
geometrical
fella. It
shapes have
comes
no
from the
practical
experience,
function,
the
such a
knowledge, and
huge
this
effort to
baby
create
arm
them
between my
suggests
legs.
a higher
I get a
purpose.
big ego.
There may be a clue in the spiritual traditions of the Apurina.
I'm gonna turn the fan on
Então,
because it's have a
a gente
mosquito.
compara um caso desse aqui como que fosse um circo que os Apurinã fazem quando está dançando, fazendo a homenagem de um cacique, de um pajé, falência, de uma pessoa importante da aldeia. A gente tem esse espaço como que fosse ele fosse acolher todos nós.
Oh, it was
Depois
good. My flight to the Magere was late taking off, but was good.
Material, né?
This is a view that's very strongly held amongst indigenous cultures across the Amazon to this day, that after death, our soul makes a journey, ultimately to an afterlife existence.
No, he's not.
This is an
He's
idea that is found
American.
all around the world, and
Trying to
structures were
figure out what I'm doing
created
for
to
breakfast.
aid the journey of the soul after death. Let's take the example of pyramids. I don't know of a single pyramidal structure around the world that isn't connected to the notion of death and the afterlife journey of the soul. This is particularly evident in the ancient Egyptian pyramids, but it's just as evident in the pyramids of the Americas and of Mexico. So it's interesting to learn from Antonio that the Amazon geoglyphs may have served a similar purpose for the people who first created them
You'll be
untold
nice.
thousands of years ago.
Oh,
Back at the airfield, it's time to find out if our Lidar survey has detected yet more of these sacred sites beneath the canopy.
So Fabio, please, tell us what you found.
We surveyed the area using the Lidar. And you see, the trees.
Yeah.
And now,
Wow, incredible.
Wow.
I had street food for dinner last night. What did you eat? I know it was me who started top this yellow shit. Blame that little Leon with me.
These enormous structures in the Amazon speak to a monumental human endeavor. But how many of them are there?
Did you time out?
Please, tell us what you found.
you see, the trees.
Yeah.
And now,
Now we take it out.
the terrain.
Wow,
Wow.
incredible.
Tocino on steak, shrimp, and
Professor
fried squid
Parsons
as
and the team
well.
have found
Do you
9
like it?
geoglyphs that were hidden beneath the jungle canopy.
Who time it up? Basic.
Here we have round octagonal.
This octagon, it's about 100 meters
100 meters in diameter.
there.
Incredible. And nobody knew it was there until you got up there with your LiDAR.
Nobody knew about this.
Yeah. It's incredible what this technology can reveal. Let's move up and look at this interesting feature.
These two nearly overlap and appear to be connected, perhaps to other sites.
This is road with embankments on both sides.
How long you
ancient
been?
road.
How long you been staying in Dumaguete, Aaron?
Embankment Square.
Yes.
Stunning. If these geoglyphs were built at the same time as others nearby, the roads suggest an organized civilization thrived here. At least 2,500 years ago. And there's evidence they might have been around for very much longer.
We found that many of these sites have been established already 10,000 years ago.
We can't be sure whether we're looking at reconstructions of much older geoglyphs. But what we do know is that human beings were present in that area, and that evidence goes back more than 10,000
Hi,
years
City.
into the past. It brings us very close to the end of the last ice age.
Out of her.
However old they may be, the scale of the enterprise is truly astonishing.
So this raises the question, how many people would it take to do something like this?
They speak about hundreds of thousands.
Yes, literally hundreds of thousands of inhabitants.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Bye,
Professor
Dan.
Parsons
See you
isn't suggesting
later.
all of those people physically built the geoglyphs. But a population that size must have existed here long term to both provide for and support the necessary workforce.
Not here.
Within a few hundred meters of known geoglyphs,
100
our LiDAR
of
team were finding
1,000?
more geoglyphs that nobody even knew about. So what on earth can we expect to discover if we go hundreds of miles into that dense rainforest?
This has changed totally our understanding of Amazonia.
We're dealing with a huge phenomenon here, which has to change the history of the Americas and changing the history of the world.
Jan, good morning, Jan. Ancient apocalypse Americas. I'm sleepy.
We can't possibly begin to tell the story of the Americas until we have much more complete knowledge of what was going on in the Amazon
Good morning,
Not a
Rose.
thousand years ago, but 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, 30,000 years ago. We need to keep going back. We need not to close our minds to these possibilities. And there's tantalizing evidence of that deeper history, 1,000 miles northeast of Acre. I've come to the Monte Alegre National Park on the north bank of the Amazon.
Monte Alegre.
Although much of the Amazon basin is flat and cloaked in trees, here distinctive rocky
Sonny.
outcrops tower
Did you
over the
get more
canopy.
sleep earlier this morning? I get 1 hour.
Archaeologist and anthropologist Dr. Christopher Davis has spent years investigating a potentially
1 hour or 30
history-changing
minutes? I don't
discovery
know.
high on one of these ridges. This is Serra do Paituna, hill of the Blackwater Lake,
It's very nice.
towering rocky crag, adorned with an array of seemingly ancient painted images. Thank you for leading the way. We're obviously surrounded by just this amazing art here. What led you to this investigation and this exploration?
I started doing archaeology as a graduate student, and I had no idea that there was rock art in the Americas. And so I was blown away by that.
I'm so tired too, Rose. Just
The
had 3 hours
images are
sleep
known as
last night.
pictographs.
Sleep more. Sleep more, John.
Some are very simple. Maybe a serpent slithering across the rock. Others depict more complex geometric patterns. The big question is, when were these images painted? The art itself can't be dated, so Dr. Davis and his team look for other evidence.
What's your dating of this site based on at the moment?
It's from the
Can't remember
excavation that
my
we
own
did
name.
back behind here. There were fragments of carbonated wood, mostly palm wood, some carbonated seeds. We found evidence of a fire back there as well.
The results were truly unexpected.
From the radiocarbon.
There is so much content disproving our 5 years. They can make hundreds of hours of documentaries on. So Rose is not getting boring, is it? It's crazy. No, it's not boring.
Been dating. The oldest
Are you feel
dates
bored?
that we got were about
She very
13,200
bored,
before
sir.
Christ.
Dating back more than 13,000 years, we're looking at some of the oldest artwork found anywhere in the Americas.
There's a art.
Artwork created during the last ice age.
There's a
by
art
people
in the
we're told
stone.
who just suddenly appeared here, deep in the Amazon wilderness.
You can imagine, thousands of years ago, this would have been much brighter.
Yes.
More
Bros and Gus make out. Limited viewership and comments for your what host because your feelings get hurt. Oh, hi Biglon. Here he is again, mad at me again. So is that derp? Little man. So is that a derp? Making new accounts? Oh my god. Bros and God make out. What are you talking about? Bros is what people speculate from very limited evidence. Aaron,
Vibrant.
thank you. Carbon dating is not a speculation, sir.
The images were painted using red and yellow ochre and seemingly treated to make them last.
If something is 10,000 years old, it's not speculation.
I've done
but
experiments here where you just take the ochre and draw it on the rock and it washes away.
Right. So there has to be a binder.
There has to be a binder, and a very good one. We suspect that they mixed it with tree resin, and
It's
the resin
broke with
forms
it,
into almost like amber, but it's kind of clear.
So that suggests those who created these paintings had, first of all,
Yeah, the
experience
painting, why
in
is
how
not
to do paintings
removed?
like this, and they've developed some knowledge of how to make the paint last.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, it
But
shows
your
preparation
book will
and
tell
time.
you we're only 500. Yeah, I didn't
Most
know that,
compelling to
bros.
me
We are
are the many
only
handprints
5,500 years old. But you need
that
more than just
intimate
carbon
human
dating to
contact
come to
expressed
reasonable
by the
conclusion.
handprints in the
We
rock
are
art.
wrong. We are here.
It's almost as though they were touching the wall and through the wall touching us, sending a message to the future.
And that's just how old the oldest bones are.
More
Nice
Paleolithic
watch,
art has been
Rose.
found in the western Amazon,
My watch?
like this intricate mural in the jungles of Colombia, where
Oh, thank
12,600-year-old images depict humans
Again, carbon
alongside what
dating
appear
is
to
not
be creatures of the Ice Age.
speculation.
We are seeing an eyewitness account of the coexistence of human
I'm
beings
keep it
with
real.
now
Hey,
long
girl.
extinct Ice Age megafauna.
Hello? Now then,
And to the east
speculation
of the
is
Amazon, these
then
paintings
established.
push the dates back further, to more than 25,000 years ago. Which means 2,000 years before those hunter-gatherers were walking the white sands of New Mexico, there were other people already living in the forests of South America, creating art like this, and in great numbers. This should open up exploration of what those human beings might have been doing in the Americas.
The Australian Aborigines came to Australia somewhere between 40 to 80,000 years ago. Boom. I'm keep it real. Do you always keep it real? Wait, I'm going to gym later. Oh my god. I'm very sleepy.
Over these tens of thousands of years that archaeologists
Listen guys,
previously
I'm going
didn't
to
think there were any
bathroom.
human beings there at all. At Cerro do Paituna, Dr. Davis is sure of one thing.
Kevin!
Whoever they were
Kevin!
and whatever they were doing,
Kevin!
the rock painters here suddenly stopped.
So the first people who were at this region, they were here, they were doing the art then about 12,700 years ago. They were gone.
So was the area abandoned at that time?
It appears to be so for quite some time, for thousands of years.
To me, 12,700 years ago is a highly significant date. There's always margins of error in dates, but that's very close to the beginning of the Younger Dryas climate anomaly. So I can't help wondering if there's a connection.
Back then, temperatures suddenly plunged, while unexpectedly, fires raged across the planet, and sea levels rose. We can hear echoes of this catastrophic epoch in the oral traditions of Amazonia. There are countless myths and legends about an ancient cataclysm that are still told all across the Amazon. And there's one that I find particularly intriguing. According to the indigenous Tirio people, long ago, the sky
nearby spirits told a shaman that a terrible flood would soon be unleashed, a punishment for the people's wickedness. Some heeded his warning and fled to safety atop Mount Kantani. But most perished in the deluge. Eventually, the flood receded, leaving the survivors to start over. It is a worldwide tradition. There was a golden age, that there was a time when humans lived in harmony with one another, but that it somehow fell from its high standards and it was punished with a great flood, with a global destruction which wiped it from the face of the earth. The global distribution of this shared myth can't be a coincidence. I believe these ancient stories may be our last surviving memories of very real events that occurred all over the world around the end of the Ice Age, during a period of cataclysms that we've been calling the Ancient Apocalypse. The evidence is mounting more and more that the Earth crossed the path of cometary debris. The argument is that it was multiple impacts of fragments of this cometary debris that set off the Younger Dryas climate emergency 12,800 years ago.
Huh? Carbon dating is just one of piece of the puzzle. You need many. Saba! Dili mo uban. You need many types. Is that right? I submit humans are the only species that does not make sense. What did you do? Oy? Unsa pitsali ron? February 6. All get along, mostly harmony. All that the water bonds together. We are we humans do not know. We are one species without reason. Though people understand the difference between speculation and theory, I would speculate over 400 billion years humanity has been erased 100 times or more. I would also speculate we are the aliens and we landed here, then got wiped out and lost our technology, and that happened over and over again. We can show at least two accounts of this speculation. What, Rose? Speculation is just guesswork. Theory is something that can be demonstrated to be 100 probable end of the ice age, and then much more recently the great food at about 6 blackwood. Well, that is already proven we cannot be 5 years old if we carbonate structures back 12 years, 12,000 years. But I give up. And what? And speculation and infrastructure to be built here, society must have not have that knowledge, so it must have been old society. Oh my god. You don't build money structures overnight, certainly not. I don't think I can make it work on my phone. The hyperlink, that is. You need math for that. You learn a trade, there's some practical skills, then there's the written theory test. It's not just descriptions, it's the facts. Is that right? All speculation and side facts didn't build go big. Bros is making my brain hurt. It's too early in the morning for conspiracy. You are watching TV shows becoming armchair expert without any training of the proper educational studies. Where are we going, Kevin? Oh. Wow, you look handsome. OMG. Say hi, be hi, viewers. Wow, where are we going? You look fantastic, little man. Yes. You're making some words go together sentence with an armrest. I swear, by the way, just talk chat. You took chat? Kevin is off the office, start work. Jollibee Kevin. Kevin! Pulang lang. Say hi, be hi everyone. And I'm going to buy ice cream. Funny. Are you going to buy ice cream?
Daan ko mama.
You have money or no?
Daan ko mama lagi.
Where is your money?
Daan ko abi mama.
Wow. Nice hair, huh? Nice hair.
Bum.
So, I'm sleepy, guys. Kevin, is this the future? Let's go to buy something, guys. I am hungry. Kevin, you want ice cream, Kevin? Look what's in my table, guys. Where you go while I was gone? Peekaboo. He's fun and silly. There are like 912 books available to you. Blackwood, seems like you haven't caught up. So you're questioning everything, but guess what Christianity was? And it's a religion in a line of thousand gods. Oh. Okay, you good while I was. Yes, Dad. Bacon and egg. If you know 1,000 gods were worshipped before ours, how would you determine the real God? Boy, I had that same bottle of water yesterday. Oh yeah? Nature Spring? The golden ashtray. The golden ashtray is over there, oh? The black lighter is over there. The cigarette, the phone stand. What else? Bro, science work by questioning everything. Where is Michael today? I don't see him. I don't know where is Michael nowadays. Is he okay? Michael, where are you, Michael? Belt Gaming, lol. Hi, everyone. Please double tap your screen. Hey, Kubaran. More importantly, if our oldest proven written word 555 years old, yet that will very fast. Yes, the monolithic structure of the old world are rather abundant and twice the age of our words. Religion works through blind faith. Don't you have his number, lol? No, I don't have his number, lol. Double tap. Yes, Beglon. Speculation is over. Animals don't build buildings. Well, hold on. It is believed there was a serpent race. If you are new, humans are mammals, therefore humans are animals. Multiple ancient societies speak of a servant race. Yeah, Basic know about that. Tell them, Basic. You read a lot of Asian and history. Who are you? No, I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna have a shower and go to gym. Bruce, can you give me their names and address? No more than you can give me a couple. If you are my man, you can watch. I'm just reading chat. Shower, can I watch? Yeah, if you are my man. You're not my man, Jan. Rose, you need to wash your back. Yeah, I need. BW, enjoy.
12,800 years ago.
You're gonna listen, guys? I'm going to have a shower. Yeah, I cannot wash my back. Come on, man. Give me a cup of the sun.
Hypothesis. In both the southern and northern hemispheres, scientists have found black matte layers like this one, showing traces of nanodiamonds, platinum and iridium, suggesting a nearby cosmic impact or airburst. But here in the Amazon, other evidence might be present, etched into these walls.
We have several images of comets, but one panel particularly, there's a comet that is positioned facing upward. The tail is going down, the head is going up.
Yeah. Above the comet image is a painting of the sun.
And this was baffling when I first saw it because normally you wouldn't see a comet until after the sun sets.
Most comets are easily distinguishable by their tails, usually only visible above the setting sun, streaming away from it. Surely it would be impossible to see a comet below the sun in broad daylight.
So that gave me the idea, when would you possibly see a comet head up before the sun sets? Maybe during an eclipse. And so I started looking in astronomy software, and there was an eclipse that occurred facing that image about 13,027 years ago.
Right.
And a comet that was near the sun. If there was an eclipse that darkened the sun, you could possibly see suddenly this comet, and it would be head up facing the sun.
So that's what we see in the art.
The art does seem to show that.
Could this painting be a record of the comet that many believe broke apart, pummeling the Earth with debris and triggering the younger Dryas? I think the ancients were already getting warnings from the sky. They were becoming aware that something had changed in the heavens, and perhaps they were painting the first signs of the apocalypse that was to come. Timing certainly fits with when humans abandoned this rocky outcrop. I know archaeologists don't like to speculate, and I'm going to ask you to speculate. But do you think the Younger Dryas had anything to do with that sudden cessation of activity?
You can't ignore it, certainly, because it does come right at that period of time.
At a personal level, what's your estimation of the people who created this art? How do you envisage them in your mind?
It's kind of hard to imagine how brave you would have to be coming to a new environment. I mean, they were pioneers.
But how did these pioneers get here in the first place? In 2015, scientists investigating just that question dropped a bombshell. They found that members of certain indigenous Amazonian tribes share a specific DNA marker with people from the other side of the Pacific Ocean. The fact that we find it amongst remote tribes in the Amazon rainforest and in Papua New Guinea, Taiwan, and Australia suggests very strongly that there was a direct crossing across the Pacific Ocean. Even more surprising is where this DNA signal isn't. This DNA signal is not found anywhere in North America. If the Americas were peopled entirely by land, we should find this DNA signal present in North America as well as in South America. What's more, the DNA signal is very old, dating back at least 10,000 years. Nobody is supposed to have been able to cross the Pacific Ocean from one side to the other 10 or 11,000 years ago. For that to have happened just turns the whole story on its head. If there's one place on Earth that might hold clues as to who crossed the Pacific back then, it's here. I've come to one of the world's most remote inhabited islands. 2,300 miles west of South America and 2,600 miles east of Tahiti. On Easter Sunday, 1722, Dutch explorers stumbled across this small speck of land, lost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So they named it Easter Island. But they were stunned to discover that it was inhabited by a people who today call their home Rapa Nui. I mean, look at the basic geography. It's just sitting there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, this tiny little dot of land. And so the first extraordinary thing about it is, how did people find it at all? How did anybody ever end up settling on Easter Island in this huge wilderness of the Pacific Ocean? That pan-Pacific DNA signal convinces me that this island can play a key role in my efforts to reconstruct the story of a lost civilization of the Ice Age. Why? Because of these vast megalithic statues that tower over the landscape, for which Rapa Nui is famous today. Across the Pacific, several islands are home to collections of remarkable megalithic structures. However, the greatest concentration of such monuments is found here. The islanders call them moai. There are more than 1,000 of them. remote rock that's smaller than Washington, D.C. Many stand together along the coastline, facing inland, while others are found seemingly at random, as if a massive project had been abandoned midway through. For me, Easter Island is just one of the most enchanted places on Earth. The great Moai statues, these human figures carved out of the soft volcanic rock. It's confronting us with a mystery right there, which needs to be explained. Who were the sculptors of these giant statues? What were they trying to achieve, and why did they expend such mighty efforts to achieve it? These are puzzles to which no definite solution, only speculation, has ever been offered. This gap in our knowledge is mostly due to the devastation wrought here by outsiders. During the 19th century, the Rapa Nui people were reduced to a tiny remnant by slave raids and disease. The few who clung on did so by taking refuge in underground lava tubes like this. I often say that we're a species with amnesia, and that is particularly true of Easter Island because of its tragic history. Because from the moment that Easter Island encountered Western culture, disaster set in. The elders who had preserved the memories were all taken away. Some slaves were later repatriated, but brought with them deadly diseases, with the result that the remaining islanders were all but wiped out. Leo Pacarati is an indigenous documentarian whose family has carefully preserved the oral traditions of Rapa Nui for generations. He's painfully aware of what was lost during those dark times of the slave raids. The only memory that is preserved of the origins of Easter Island is the memory that survived the 19th century.
In a historical moment, we are only 111 persons on the island. It's a big disaster. It's a cultural disaster too, because you need many people for keep the knowledge. A few people, few knowledge, and we lose a big part of our history.
And yet, despite these overwhelming odds, the Rapa Nui have retained memories concerning this tiny island's most intriguing mystery.
Tell me what the oral tradition says about the Moai.
The real name for the Moai is Te Aringa Ora o Te Tupuna, the living face of our ancestors. That is the name. The idea is the Moai represent a real person, and in life this person are special, important.
According to Rapa Nui lore, these important ancestors were memorialized in the Moai, with distinctive features related to their rank.
Some of the Moai have short ears, some of them have long ears. What's that about?
This is because of different social class in the island. Some people have time for long ears, live long nails too. It's a social class. And
so those long fingers on the Moai, those are actually nails?
Are long fingers, and some Moai are very long nails and pubes too.
I find it impossible to avoid seeing parallels with similar statues of great antiquity found elsewhere. On the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, we find 4,000-year-old megalithic figures in a remarkably similar posture and with similar hand positions. Even on the other side of the world, in Turkey, a statue known as Urfa Man that dates back to the Ice Age strikes a similar pose, his hands clasped across his belly. An equally intriguing parallel is found also in Turkey, in the 10-ton megalithic pillars of Göbekli Tepe. These pillars are 11,600 years old. Could the similarities of these designs across time and space be evidence of a single common ancestor culture, leaving a legacy of ideas for later peoples to express? No records exist that could explain the origins of such imagery. But according to Rapa Nui oral tradition, the Moai, in addition to being megalithic memorials, channel a sacred spiritual power from their ancestors. An energy known as mana. Tell me more about mana.
Mana is very important. Mana is the energy. All the people have mana. Any rock, any element in the universe have mana.
So the Moai are invested with mana.
Yeah. People when die, the family send to make a Moai with the intention, the soul, the mana, the spirit of this person entering the Moai.
But interestingly, that mana only starts to flow after the Moai are set in place and properly finished.
The moment the Moai is safe on the platform, the Punas, the ancestor, carving the holes for the eyes first, and later they put in coral for the white part, and sometimes obsidian or other rocks for the iris. In this moment, it's no more Moai. Now it's adding aura of the Tupuna, the living face that our ancestors.
Once it has the eyes.
Once it has the eyes.
Right.
And from the platform, from the Ahu, the Moai look in direction to the town and protect the family. That is the function from the Moai.
Clearly, the Moai are deeply sacred to the Rapa Nui. But does that mean they originally carved them? Or could the Moai have already been here? If so, we need to rethink the entire timeline of the peopling of Rapa Nui. Let's consider an alternative scenario in which it was first explored by a small group of highly sophisticated navigators much further back in prehistory than is presently accepted. Based on genetic testing, we know that the Rapa Nui people are descended from those great ancient navigators, the Polynesians. The Polynesians were fantastically advanced navigators and seafarers and settled many points in the Pacific Ocean during the Polynesian expulsion about 3,000 years ago. Carbon dating of the oldest human settlements here strongly suggests that Rapa Nui was one of the last islands they reached, around 1,100 years ago. A new study proposes that the first people arrived even more recently, just 800 years ago or less. And yet, fragments of a different, earlier origin story seem to contradict the archaeological timeline, have been kept alive here. I'm privileged to witness a celebration of it. The oral traditions speak of a primeval homeland called Hiva, a large island destroyed by a global flood that forced their ancestors to flee. In this account, the great king of Hiva, Otumatua, was warned that his island nation would suffer a terrible deluge and be submerged forever. Guided by a vision, he sent 7 chosen men out in seafaring canoes, heading towards the rising sun in search of a new home. After weeks at sea, they landed safely on the island of Rapa Nui, where they were later joined by Otumatua and hundreds of his people to re-establish their civilization.
Plate ice cream, oh. You buy ice cream?
So we have a tradition of a great flood and an exploration. We have to ask ourselves, did such an event happen? We really have to go back to the end of the last ice age to get the kind of flood that will submerge an entire land. And the name of that sunken island, Hiva, in Rapa Nui language means far off land, suggesting it wasn't a land the Polynesians were familiar with. But the arrival of a band of 7 by sea after a time of great cataclysm is a tradition encountered all over the ancient world, from the Apkallu of Mesopotamia to Egypt's 7 sages and India's 7 rishis. Such traditions often speak of a small band of flood survivors arriving in a distant land in a time of chaos with a mission to restart civilization. Coincidence? Could these origin stories be memories of real events experienced by many ancient cultures around the world? Crucially, the legend of Hotumatua and Hiva doesn't include a date.
Oh!
This causes me to raise questions in my mind about when Easter Island was first settled. I'm not disputing the Polynesian expansion. I'm not disputing that the population of Easter Island today is a Polynesian population. But the question is, could it have been settled earlier than that?
Bye for now.
Alas, the Moai themselves can't help us answer this question. The characteristic Moai are cut from a relatively soft type of rock called tuff, a form of volcanic ash turned to stone. They can't be dated in and of themselves. In the absence of direct evidence for when these megalithic statues were carved, archaeologists relied on dating the organic matter embedded in the Ahu platforms on which many of the Moai stand. For example, Ahu Now has been dated to between 400 and 900 years old. So that's when historians believe the islanders began to carve the Moai. But if that were true, it means that after a few centuries, living simply, with no traces of building the necessary skills, the Rapa Nui people suddenly embarked on this mammoth project, which continued until just a few decades before the Europeans arrived. Many of the platforms are really quite rough and ready by comparison with the statues, and we have to ask ourselves the question, are the platforms actually the same age as the statues that stand on top of them? Or is it possible that the statues were newcomers to Easter Island, giving us a totally false idea of how old the statues are based on the platforms alone? After all, throughout history, many objects of great cultural value have later been moved and displayed in a newer setting. In Venice, the 4 tetrarchs of St. Mark's Basilica were actually carved in Constantinople 900 years before they were installed here. And the Renaissance fountain in front of Rome's Pantheon isn't nearly as old as the ancient Egyptian obelisk it supports. Many of these huge statues were moved around, relocated, placed in different positions. And I think we have to remain open to the possibility that the statues may already have been there when the first Polynesians arrived, and that they were kind of adopted by those new settlers and taken in to their culture. Supporting this idea is Ahu Now, which uses another Moai head, deeply weathered, as one of its foundation stones, recycled for this purpose. Another hint that the Moai could be much older than previously thought can be found in the extinct volcano, where nearly all of the megaliths were first quarried and shaped. the southeastern corner of the island is an extinct volcano called Rano Raraku. It's a dramatic feature of the landscape. And on its slopes are the remains of hundreds of partially completed moai. It truly is one of the world's most mysterious places.
Zaman! Ha?
400 moai
Pila ka
are
ba?
scattered about the volcano. In various stages of completion.
Isa na taas!
Many only
Saan?
peak above ground level.
Isa na
They squat
taasan?
torsos embedded in deep sediment.
Kuha na kasi mga pa!
This sedimentation could result from landslides, mud flows, or even tsunamis. But although they might lean, most of the statues remain upright, not randomly tumbled over as you'd expect if such an event were the cause. So what really happened here? For centuries, the sediment concealed the evidence. Until 1914, when archaeologists began excavations. As this photograph shows, some moai are much more than just head and shoulders, and include the whole torso, lodged deep in the hillside. A finding that was only fully revealed to the world in the 1950s by the famous ethnographer Thor Heyerdahl.
Hi!
Thor Heyerdahl
Where's the
was
host?
remarkable.
The host is here.
I was lucky to
Hi,
meet
Craig.
him more than once. He was willing to challenge convention. He was convinced that there were some missing pieces in the story of our past, and he tried to show us that deep in prehistory,
Wait, wait.
ancient humans were capable of achievements that we have tended to allocate to much later periods. Like this mysterious moai building project. Archaeologists tell us that the last of the moai were sculpted around 400 years ago. But it seems implausible on such a small island that such a massive amount of sedimentation could have accumulated around them in such a short time.
Oh my god.
None of these moai show evidence of intentional burial. So is there another explanation?
Hello, Rose.
Could it be that what we're looking at is the end result of a process of sedimentation that would have taken not hundreds of years, but thousands? The problem with that theory? There's no evidence of human habitation dating so far back. Or is there?
What with nature channel? Yeah. Yep.
We need to re-examine the prehistory of each island. We shouldn't just accept what we're told.
It's an
Resident and
ancient
archaeologist Dr. Sonia
apocalypse.
Cardinali has spent nearly 5 decades recovering the island's lost history. Not by studying the moai or ancient settlements, but through a close investigation of its plants. So, Sonia,
Get your
I understand that
test
you have a
score
special
yet?
interest in
No.
botany, but you're also an archaeologist.
Not
Yes.
yet.
The most important for me is to understand the people,
Yeah.
is to understand how people arrive, is to understand how people adapting to
Yeah.
this site. Because as a human, we cannot do anything without love.
That's
In the
true.
bowl of one of Rapa Nui's extinct volcanoes, Dr. Cardinali and her colleagues have been searching for the earliest evidence of non-indigenous plants or crops that must have been brought here by humans. What do plants say about...
With the banana. They found the banana on the island, and the study of the different
that must have been brought here by humans. What do plants say about when people lived on this island?
and the study of the different food we have. The result came
Yes.
with the banana. They found the banana on the island 3,000 years ago.
So
3,000 years
bananas
ago.
have been on Rapa Nui for at least 3,000 years.
Yes, yes.
And they didn't get
What
here by
country is this?
themselves.
It's not coming by the birds, it's not by the sea. The banana had to be planted by another human being. So that's the reason it's telling you that in Rapa Nui there is a different period of people.
Yeah, I'm
arriving.
doing gym today.
And it's a huge surprise for
time?
everybody.
8:20.
It's a change a little bit the history.
Well, it changes a lot, the history.
The soil is not right.
No, the soil tells the truth.
We didn't think that
Wow, nice.
the banana was so important.
Dr. Cardinali's dates were derived from microscopic remnants of banana plants and pushed the arrival of people on Rapa Nui back by around 2,000 years. So the plants are helping us to push the timeline back.
Yes.
And it's possible it may be older than 3,000 years.
We don't know. But that's the reason we should continue studying.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In light of this new evidence, Rapa Nui's prehistory has to be reconsidered. Dr. Cardinali's findings suggest that
The
Polynesian
a
settlers reached
complaint
this island
just now.
long before the
Censored
accepted
in
timeline.
Whitey again.
But based on Rapa Nui's oral traditions, there is another possibility.
Rose.
Perhaps Hotomatua and his 7 scouts arrived here many thousands of years earlier than anyone ever dreamed possible. Might there not be a forgotten episode in the story of this island? An earlier
This is why I
chapter
need blue.
written by survivors of the global cataclysm that occurred around 12,000 years ago.
Be safe and have a nice day, Rose. You also, Craig. I'm in a chapter 3 now, bros.
If humans arrived on Rapa Nui many thousands of years ago, where did they live? Where are the archaeological traces we'd expect to find? Remember that at the peak of the last ice age, sea levels were more than 400 feet lower than they are today. Rapa Nui would have been a much larger island. All that land
Oddly
could have
enough, I
supported
only
a
been
much
here
larger
and now I
population,
can talk outside my jacket.
which could help explain how the huge Moai carving project was pulled off.
Whoa.
Might their builders have chosen to live near the ancient coastline, now lost underwater, and only use the higher ground we see today for their great statue
Your hand
project?
moderator out like him there.
It's not often realized how
What do
much
you mean?
land was lost to sea level rise at the end of the ice age, and the figure is roughly 10 million square miles, the best land in the world at that time. And when the sea levels suddenly rise, those coastlines get submerged beneath the sea. Anything built on those submerged areas gets smashed to pieces and destroyed. And goodness knows what was lost to the rising sea levels. What we do know is that the earliest people living here developed more than just extraordinary stone carving skills. Rapa Nui lore holds that their great founder, King Hotumatua, brought something special with him from that far-off land of Hiva, a written language. Its remnants were preserved on wooden tablets, known as rongo rongo, most likely copies of copies, created down the ages as the originals were lost to history. Fewer than 30 rongo-rongo survive, now preserved in museums around the world. For Rapa Nui residents, like indigenous documentarian Neo Pakarati, these tablets hold a special place in history.
It's an incredible achievement because normally a written script is associated with a big, highly organized culture.
Yeah.
And here we're finding it on a small island.
The rongo-rongo are very interesting and very important in our culture.
And I think it's unique in Polynesia.
Yeah, I think unique is not.
I love me some rose flower. Hi. Beglon. I must be crazy. Is it gym time? Yeah. Yes, Bruce. I'm in Beglon. Love the outfit. Hey, you like the outfit, Beglon? No, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change it. I'm not gonna wear this one to the gym. I get pimples on. Do together. I like your nose. Hi, Cheese Rich. 19. Good morning, my friend. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. What? You're welcome. No, I was removed the moderator. Then I put it back. I have something important. I wish I could be sorry. I think Rose is about 5 hours of sleep. You probably live stream more than most. Yeah, I didn't sleep. Come to Brazil? Yes. I like Rose makeup class. Oh, I saw you're sleeping, but it was not for long. Yeah. I think I sleep only 30 minutes or 1 hour. How about you, Ted? Did you sleep? Did you sleep, Ted? Yeah, maybe that long. I'm good. I'm done. Ay, it's hurt. I come here, I was sleeping. Okay. Rose is very beautiful now. Wow. Are you sure? Kobe Run! No, you're joking, Kobe Run. Oh, I love it, lol. Always lol. Always lol. So that's why I don't believe you because you always say lol. Lol. Perfume? Uh, I smell like candy now. I'm gonna have my breakfast or a boiled egg. Yes, you are very beautiful. I'm beautiful, but there's a bat. Wait, wait, Kabiran, ha? Wait, wait, wait. I will get my boiled egg. No, but Rose, you're a gorgeous girl. Hey, thank you. No. I have boiled egg now. Do you put salt and pepper on it? Sometimes I don't, sometimes I put boiled eggs rack. No, I have the Hello. Rice is life, lol. Not with me. Salt and pepper. I eat lunch, Jory. I eat rice lunch. Nah. Hi guys, I'm going to end my stream. But I will end, no, but I will, why? Why? I'm going to eat. No, I've been live streaming now. It's been long time. No, I need to charge my phone. No, don't go. No, don't go. No, but I will stream again. Wait, we don't mind. Ma, sa yung palit?
Ah, walay kuan. Huwag paliya sila, tinahalong paliya. Kuan na lang ni pan bato.
No.
Ikaw ka bato? Oo. Wala man. Gamay yun ang puno nila upuan.
Okay, come back after you eat then. See you later. Okay. Bye guys.